Senate leader and chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee to investigate the alleged economic sabotage, Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, recently held a news conference to address the ongoing investigations into the economic sabotage in the Nigerian petroleum industry. During the news conference, Senator Bamidele emphasized the critical need to tackle the alleged economic sabotage within the petroleum sector. The focus was specifically on the recent accusation following the importation of petroleum products into the country, which have significant implications for the economy.
We are all aware that the petroleum industry has been on the front burner of public discourse since the creation of this ad hoc committee, as regulators and industry players continue to make accusation one accusation or the other on various issues relating to the general operations of the petroleum industry. Hence, the need for this press conference to educate the general public on the mandate, workings, and of course, the modalities adopted by the ad hoc committee to carry out this assignment. For the avoidance of doubt, the terms of reference of the ad hoc committee include: A, to examine the pre-shipment and pre-discharge standard test parameters adopted by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority with a view to uncovering loopholes, if any, being exploited to get toxic cargoes into our country. 2, to determine the level of compliance of the NNPC Limited's direct sale, direct purchase arrangement in line with the provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act, including the extent of transparency and accountability in the scheme. 3, to beam legislative searchlight on the activities of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, including payments made to transporters in the last 10 years. 4, to inquire from the NNPC Limited the state and/or status of the 22 depots built by the defunct NNPC to eliminate road distribution of petroleum products. 5, to engage with stakeholders within the oil and gas industry with a view to identifying possible gaps in regulating and strengthening the surveillance and monitoring structures in place to enable Nigeria to detect violations of best practice standards in the importation of products before they enter into the domestic supply chains. 6, to also engage with the NNPC Limited with a view to understanding the extent of its determination and timeliness for the startup of government-funded refineries. 7, to investigate how institutions across the importation and distribution chain failed to conduct quality sampling, shipped in products without auditing, and performed part validations by the Nigerian Customs Service, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Standards Organization of Nigeria, and Nigerian Ports Authority. And finally, to also perform such other consequential amendments as the ad hoc committee might deem fit. It is pertinent to note that in the course of interactions with the identified stakeholders, the ad hoc committee will visit any of their facilities that it deems necessary, especially the state-owned refineries, to ascertain their status, considering the huge funds already invested in their various turnaround maintenance year in, year out, without any meaningful result.
The ad hoc committee was initiated following a motion moved forward in the Senate on July 3, 2024, spearheaded by Senator Asukwo Ekpenyong. The committee's mandate includes examining pre-shipment and pre-discharge test parameters, scrutinizing the actions of regulatory bodies, engaging with industry stakeholders, and investigating failures in quality sampling and auditing processes. The committee is expected to deliver its findings within 3 weeks. Mercy Adeomi, DCTV News.